Back to politics now. Several lawmakers are placing the blame squarely on Elon Musk for the failure to pass the government funding bill. Democrats say Musk was meddling where he did not belong and has effectively taken control of the Republican Party. At the same time, President-elect Trump told NBC News in a phone interview yesterday that Musk did not influence him at all when Trump initially came out against the spending bill. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi took to social media, calling the president-elect Musk's puppet president-elect, adding House Republicans are abdicating their responsibility to the American people and siding with billionaires and special interests. Other Democrats echoed those sentiments.
It's just shameful that they allowed Elon Musk, who now everybody's calling President Musk, to blow this deal up. I heard one Republican colleague say now it's President Musk and J.D. Vance as vice president. Well, where does that leave Donald Trump, the president-elect? Is he the former campaign manager or something?
They write the bill. They post the bill. They agreed on a bill.
They signed it.
And you know what? They got scared because President Musk told them, President Musk said, don't do it. Don't do it. Shut the government down.
Elon Musk, an unelected man, said, we're not doing this deal. And Donald Trump followed along. So here we are, once again, in chaos. And House Democrats are going to stand together and make sure that American families' voices are heard here.
All I've heard for the last couple of weeks about this giant mandate, landslide, trifecta. Put on your big boy pants, pass your own bill. We're only here because you guys can't agree amongst yourselves.
We're the legislative branch of government. Mr. Musk is not the legislature. We should be voting on that agreement, and that agreement is a fair agreement.
Some Senate Republicans also weighed in publicly, generally displeased with the idea of a government shutdown. But they insisted that Trump's in control and not Musk.
I think President Trump's driving this, and I'm not diminishing Mr. Musk's role. I mean, this is America. Everybody's entitled to have their opinion. And I listen, I follow his tweets, and it's just one more factor that I add to my equation, trying to make the right decision. But I think President Trump's driving this train.
I think it's somewhat constructive, quite honestly, but it's also a little bit disruptive. But that's what people elected. They wanted a constructive disruptor, and Elon fits that bill pretty nicely.
Just a reminder, despite those comments there from Republican Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota, Elon Musk was not on the ballot and was not elected to any position in government. Joining us now, special correspondent at Vanity Fair and host of the Fast Politics podcast, our friend Molly Jong-Fast. Molly, where to even begin? I mean, let's just start, first of all, put in perspective. Just how unusual is it for an unelected private citizen, and in fact, the world's richest man, to have this much sway? Because despite some insistence in Trump land, this bill seemed like the original bill, seemed like it was on track to pass until Musk started tweeting about it.
Yeah. There is no precedent for this. And look, he's the richest man in the world. He also owns a major social media platform, X. He also controls satellites, right? He has government contracts. He has government security. I mean, this is like, talk about a conflict, right? He's trying to run the government. He's owned some of the government. I mean, it's just an incredible bit. But what's also really interesting about him is, A, he's not from here, right? He wasn't born in this country, so he couldn't theoretically even run for president. And then the other thing is that he doesn't have he does not have an encyclopedic knowledge of how American government works. So he actually makes Trump kind of look like, and again, this is a stretch, but a little more like the grown-up in the room.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of this, is that a lot of frustration behind closed doors on Capitol Hill yesterday from Democrats and Republicans alike, saying that Musk simply doesn't understand how this works, that spending bills do require some degree of bipartisanship to get it done. So let's talk about the Musk-Trump relationship. Obviously, Musk played a big role in the stretch run of the campaign, a lot of money. The two men have been inseparable since Election Day. We know that in the past, Trump really doesn't like it when someone else gets the attention he thinks belongs to him. Do we see a potential fracture coming?
Again, nobody can predict the future, but I do think it is interesting. Like, here we are like 6 days till Christmas. There are the things that Musk is cutting from this bill. For example, there was a $160 million for childhood cancer. That is like a rounding error. For Musk, that's a rounding error. But for this government funding bill, this CR, it was a rounding error. But the optics of cutting money for children with cancer right before Christmas, as you shut down the government, that's not a great optic, right? And like, this party still wants to win elections someday.
It's hard to see the Republicans not being the ones taking the blame if the government does shut down at midnight tonight.